What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about a big massive transfer update on the Upamecano situation, because James Pearce said some very interesting things about that transfer. But first I want to give you guys an injury update for tomorrow's Liverpool FC Midtjylland Champions League game. So Jurgen Klopp confirmed that Oxlade-Chamberlain and Van Dijk are long-term injury absentees, but also Thiago, Matip, Tsimikas and Naby Keita will remain sidelined. They are also injured and out for the Midtjylland game. This begs the question, will Liverpool play with Joe Gomez and Fabinho for the third game in a row in like 6 days as the centre-back partnership, or do we bring in somebody like Reece Williams, who has been playing recently some minutes, or do we bring in another centre-back? Matip being out injured for the third game in a row is very concerning. Thiago, of course, I think that's just to be safe. He was on the end of a horrendous tackle by Richarlison, and Naby Keita also being injured is not good. So James Pearce, who is a very reliable journalist with strong links to Liverpool FC, a Liverpool-based journalist, this is what he said. Liverpool signing Upamecano in January wouldn't be a surprise. And James Pearce, who is very reliable, he has 5 stars reliability, he said that Liverpool are very keen on signing Upamecano, but they are also keen on signing Kabak, and whoever player we can negotiate a personal deal with will be the player that Liverpool will get in the January transfer window. And Upamecano, who is just 21 years old, just signed a new contract with Leipzig, but that new contract has a release clause because Upamecano just had 1 year left on his contract. So if he doesn't sign that contract, then he would have been available on a free transfer next summer. So Leipzig wanted to tie him down because he's one of the best young centre-backs in the world, but Upamecano had some really good interesting demands inserted into that contract. One of that is a 42 million euro release clause, which is around 35 million pounds, I believe, whatever the pound euro conversion rate is. So 42 million euro release clause was inserted in his contract, which will be active from next summer. Therefore, we are unsure, and the German Kicker newspaper revealed Upamecano's release clause. But what that means for Liverpool FC is that we need to overpay and make Leipzig sell Upamecano in January and pay them more than his release clause, which is 42 million euros, if we want to get him in January. But I think it's worth it, because signing Upamecano could be the difference between Liverpool winning the title at the end of the season or finishing second to Man City. Probably they will be the strongest. And Kabak was also linked many times. I already made a video about that yesterday, so make sure to check it out. Kabak would be cheaper, but Upamecano would be good enough to play for Liverpool for the next 10 years. He's that good. He's already an absolutely elite world-class centre-back. His physicality, his ball distribution, he's strong in the air. He would be almost the perfect signing for Liverpool, so this makes a lot of sense. And we have also very encouraging news from a journalist who actually broke the Virgil van Dijk deal in 2018. That is Sunday World writer Kevin Palmer, who actually claims that Liverpool, the Premier League champions, are going to step up their interest in Upamecano. And even the Bild German newspaper are claiming, and they are going as far as claiming, that Jurgen Klopp will fight for Upamecano and his signature in 2021. Palmer can be considered a very reliable source when it comes to Liverpool, because the journalist first broke the Virgil van Dijk deal in 2018. So this is what the report is saying. Upamecano was already on Liverpool's list of potential targets before Virgil van Dijk's injury, and now sources in Germany have told the Sunday World newspaper that Leipzig are expecting Liverpool to make a move to sign their centre-back in January with an offer in excess of 40 million pounds, hard for them to turn down. It will be tough to find a quality player in January if Liverpool needed to do it, if they want to keep their ambitions for their season on track, said Anfield legend John Aldridge. It might be that he needs to drop the defensive line back, try to play with a little more caution and look to the front three of Salah, Mane and Firmino to win matches as Jurgen Klopp tries to get to January 1st without too much damage inflicted on the season. The option of using Fabinho in that role looked decent when Van Dijk was in the mix, but they look horribly short in that key position now, and it means a move in the transfer market might now be the only solution, especially because it looks like Matip just can't stay fit. He can't play even one game per week, because when he plays, after that he's injured for weeks, maybe even months, and then we are just left with one senior centre-back, Joe Gomez, and the rest is just either makeshift centre-backs like Fabinho or young inexperienced players who never played in the Premier League before. So it's not ideal situation at the back for Liverpool, and I'm sure that Jurgen Klopp will rectify it, address it in the January transfer window. And in the summer, the Leipzig CEO Oliver Mintzlaff said this about their transfer policy: we won't be selling any players under their market value. We know when players' contracts are coming to an end, and it's out of the question that any player, especially a key player, will leave on a free transfer. We have a great squad with international talent. Should he not be active in the transfer market, we've got enough good players to do well next season. I can only partly see the necessity to sell. Our team has developed really well under Julian Nagelsmann and we'll get even better, so I'm relaxed about the transfer window. And they ended up selling Timo Werner for like 52 million pounds to Chelsea, but they extended the contract of Upamecano. And I think that makes a lot of sense because, as the CEO said, they don't want to lose any good players on free contract, so it made sense to extend Upamecano's contract. So even if he leaves Leipzig in January or next summer, they get some money for him. And Jamie Carragher wants Liverpool to go after Upamecano and sign him. This is what he said: there is a young man everyone was talking about at Leipzig, Dayot Upamecano. There is talk of him to come to Liverpool. Whether he has the profile of Van Dijk, I think he is only 6'1" or 6'2", but so he's maybe not that aerial. He doesn't have maybe that same aerial threat as Van Dijk, but he's the one they wanted. If he's the one that Liverpool wanted, then bring it forward. Pay a little bit extra money and do it on January 1st. That means getting through 11 league games without Virgil van Dijk. We already got through one and we won it against Sheffield United. One thing to say about Van Dijk is that in the last 23 games, they have only kept 5 clean sheets and Van Dijk played all of them. So it is not like everything was perfect. We saw the 7 goals conceded against Aston Villa and we saw the Leeds game, but I think Liverpool have to go big with the signing in the January transfer market. And even German media outlet Bild claimed a couple of weeks ago that Liverpool were indeed interested in signing Upamecano next summer. And yes, Upamecano is not the tallest of players. He's 186 centimeters tall, that's 6 foot 1 inches tall, but he's only 21 and he will only get better. He's already a France international and he is basically an ever-present for Leipzig. He played 37 games last season for Leipzig and he already played 6 games this season for Leipzig. And Leipzig got to the Champions League semi-finals. They knocked out some really good teams along the way, mainly Atletico Madrid, and they are also regularly in the Bundesliga title race, and I think they are actually leading the Bundesliga, or they are second, something like that, starting the season very well. So Upamecano is playing already for an elite side in the Bundesliga, so I don't think he would have any problem adapting to the Premier League, coming in and settling in, and he has the physicality, he has the pace to cope with the rigorous demands of the Premier League, in my opinion. And Fabinho said that Liverpool players need to push together to avoid complacency in their title defense. I think that the 7-2 loss against Aston Villa, that's just my opinion, that brought back everybody back down to earth at Liverpool, and there is no complacency, there is no feeling of like going out and just the games will be easy. That put that idea to bed for good for now. This is what Fabinho said. Klopp said that what we have achieved at the club up until now is very important, but given the squad we've got. We can do a lot more. We need to forget and block out that people are saying they've already won the Champions League and the Premier League, and aim to meet our objective, which is to continue winning and being one of the best teams in the world. Our players and the leaders in the group are always pushing each other, helping each other out, not allowing anyone to relax. That's important at this moment in time. Even though we are a team that has been hugely successful, we need to be pushing each other on to win more things. And he also welcomed the new signings. He said our squad is very strong, but we know that the signing of quality players is a plus for the team. Thiago's arrival will be really positive. He's a player coming from an exceptional season at Bayern Munich last year. He's an experienced player who inspires confidence given everything he has achieved. He can also add something to our team, something we didn't have before. The quality of his passing is exceptional. He's someone that receives the ball really well between the lines. So I think his arrival, both his and Jota's, are going to be really important for us. And I think Fabinho makes some very good points in this interview, and I think he will become a leader this season with Van Dijk out, and him leading from the back is exactly what Liverpool need. Jordan Henderson also said that Liverpool are not making any excuses ahead of a period filled with a lot of games. Liverpool face 4 huge games in the next 12 days, including Man City away at the Etihad, which I think will be a key game in Liverpool's title push. This is what Henderson said. We do have a tough period coming up, but we love playing football. We want to play these games. If you look back a few months ago and we were sitting in the house during lockdown, couldn't go out, we would have played football every single day if we could. There are a lot of things going on in the world, and it's tough for people sitting at home. These things have a huge impact on people, so we really have to try and put a smile on the face, even if it is just for tonight. So for us it is physically demanding, but we are used to it and we enjoy it. We will use all the lads in the squad. Everybody is needed for full season, but you have to enjoy it. I love playing football. We love it and we enjoy it. And that's the kind of spirit that you want from your captain, Jordan Henderson. And Mats Hummels, of course, who used to be the player of Jurgen Klopp at Borussia Dortmund, said some very interesting things about Klopp. After 7 years of press conferences with Jurgen Klopp here in Dortmund, we got used to the fact that it wasn't really a press conference, but a late night show. Favre does not want to reveal so much, and he can be rather withdrawn, but if you are looking for entertainment, you should switch to ProSieben, a German television network, at 8:15 p.m. And Jurgen Klopp's press conferences haven't lost their entertainment value since moving to the Premier League. And I also want to take a look at what Roberto Firmino is bringing to the Liverpool team, which is not just goals, because he hasn't been primarily a goal scorer since lockdown began. For example, since February 2020, Salah scored 13 goals in the Premier League, Mane scored 11, and then everybody else scored 2 goals or less, including Bobby Firmino. Bobby Firmino has the same amount of goals as Jota, Henderson, Trent, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Robertson, Van Dijk and Wijnaldum. But Firmino does a lot more than just put the ball into the back of the net. He has actually covered more distance than anybody else when it comes to forwards in the Premier League. He ran 373.3 kilometers since the beginning of last season. He also won 37 balls in the final third, where also he is the best when it comes to just out-and-out strikers. Danny Ings is second, Gabriel Jesus is third, Salah and Zaha is fourth, joint fourth with 28. Firmino won 27 balls in the final third, which is a really, really big number. And he also is playing a little bit withdrawn. He's not playing as an out-and-out striker, but more as an attacking midfielder, if that makes sense. And he's linking the play between the midfield and the forward line, and he's pressing the opposition. He's like a defensive striker, if you like, but he just does so much more than just score goals. And yes, it's a little bit of a concern that Firmino doesn't score as many goals as before, but as long as the team is winning and as long as Jurgen Klopp is happy with Firmino's contribution, I think we shouldn't criticize Bobby Firmino so much, because he is like the engine that makes all this Liverpool team tick, and I really hope that he just finds more goals to come, because that just makes everybody's life easier. But otherwise, Firmino is doing still great work in the Liverpool team, and I just want to have a few minutes to talk about that. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.